Selling digital products on Etsy is dead. I'm gonna tell you why in this video, but more importantly, I'm gonna tell you what you can do about it. So let's get into it. It is no secret that selling digital products on Etsy has been all of the rage lately, and it makes sense. Everyone needs a platform to get started that has a low barrier to entry, low overhead cost to just go ahead and get started. Here's a quick background on why I'm so passionate about moving your digital products off of Etsy. So I too started my online business on Etsy, selling digital products. I poured my heart and soul into this, doing research, finding out where the gap in the market was and where I could actually make money. And at the height of my online digital product store on Etsy, I was making between $5,000 and $8,000 a month consistently, which was amazing and life-changing money for me. And in the last year, Etsy digital products have become increasingly popular to the point where the market is just flooded with subpar products at extremely low price points, so much so that it's almost impossible for your high quality product to be found, and it's certainly impossible for you to charge what your product is worth. So now, for me, that means with all these additional products that are honestly inferior to mine, I only consistently make about $3,000 now from Etsy. Admittedly, I don't put any new listings out on Etsy anymore. I just let my old listings ride, so this is almost 100% passive income for me, so I'm grateful for that. But I've been putting my efforts elsewhere so that I can make my online business a long-term strategy. So if you're looking to do the same, make a life-changing amount of money, and have an online business that is sustainable, then this video is for you. Now, I want to be clear that you can still be successful on Etsy, but it's going to take one of two things. You're going to have to pay a lot of money in ads in order to be seen, or you're going to have to be churning out a ton of new listings all the time. And for me, my side hustle has always been a way for me to get more time freedom and not just to be an additional 9 to 5 for me. I wanted to make actual money from this, money that could help my family and free up my time from having to work so much in a traditional 9 to 5, not just have another 9 to 5. So I didn't want to spend all my time just churning out new listing after new listing. And additionally, for me, I wanted to focus on high quality listings, things that I was super proud of, instead of just coming up with new things or shorter things or things that didn't provide as much value. When I say that selling digital products on Etsy is dead, I am referring to 3 things specifically. The first is that Etsy is a platform of price arbitrage. I mentioned this a little bit before, but you don't own Etsy, you don't own anything that Etsy does. And so right next to your listing, Etsy is literally promoting your competitor's listing right next to your listing. It's like you've done all the hard work, maybe through SEO, through ads, driving your own traffic from outside sources to your listing, and then Etsy's gonna go ahead and put your competitor right next to you. It's like, okay, sure. And then again, I mentioned this before, but there's a low barrier to entry for Etsy, which is good to get started. However, for a long-term business plan, you're gonna need to have a platform that has some sort of higher barrier of entry, because otherwise it's just gonna continually be flooded by people who are just literally copying your design word for word or image for image. There are so many softwares out there now, some that I use myself to do competitor research, but I never copy anyone that I see. I use it as inspiration. But unfortunately for me and my digital product business, I found that people will literally just copy my listing word for word or image for image. It's just so easy to do with digital products. And on Etsy, that software just allows this type of theft to happen so rampantly. And also, generally, the lowest price on Etsy gets the sale. It's as simple as that. So at this point, I'm having to charge for my digital products nowhere near what they're worth just so I can try and make a sale. And honestly, I'm kind of fed up at this point, which is why I'm transferring all of my digital products off of Etsy, where I can drive my own traffic and get 4 to 5 times the amount per sale. I'm gonna show you 2 examples of exactly what I'm talking about here with the price arbitrage and what you can charge off of Etsy versus on Etsy at the end of this video. Number 2 is that Etsy is a platform of attrition. And what I mean by this is that Etsy is a numbers game. As I mentioned before, unless you're spending a significant amount of your money on ads, you are going to have to be churning out listings all of the time just in order to get seen on Etsy. First off, Etsy simply rewards when you're putting out new listings, right? So its algorithm likes that in general. But also, you're just gonna have to continue to cast this wide net in order to get sales. And for me, I really like to focus on quality over quantity. As I mentioned, the exception to this is if you run Etsy ads, then you don't need as many listings per se to get seen. But first off, this is eating into your profit margin. And second off, you can still make 2 to 4 to sometimes 5 times the amount of money off of a listing if you do ads to drive it to your offsite location as to on Etsy. So it doesn't really make sense to spend the money on Etsy where you're gonna make so much less. If you're gonna spend that money on ads anyway, drive it to your own website where you're gonna make 5 times as much. It just makes logical sense to me. And number 3, Etsy owns your customers, not you. It's really important to understand that. Honestly, email lists are king of the game when it comes to selling digital products or any products for that matter, and Etsy hates external links. Etsy hates you driving traffic off of Etsy, and so it's gonna do everything that it can to just keep your customers right there. So unless you do something to get your customer email when they're on your store, you don't have their email, you have their name, that's it, but Etsy doesn't even really like you contacting them and promoting to them outside of the official Etsy channels. And so you don't own your customers. A little later on in this video, I'm gonna talk about why it's so important to collect emails and how much easier it is to resell a similar item to a customer that's already yours rather than trying to get a new customer right from the beginning. So what can you do instead? And the answer is sell your own digital products on your own platform. And just hear me out here, this is not as scary as it sounds. I'll be honest that it takes a little bit of learning and time up front, but if you're already selling on Etsy, you have the skills that you need in order to do this. And if you put in that work up front, you are gonna make significantly more money. And in most cases, it's gonna be the same amount of work or even less than what you're already putting into Etsy. Okay, before I go any further, I just wanna say, and hear me out, you need to start thinking about yourself as a business owner. If you are taking Etsy seriously, and if you wanna make life-changing amounts of money for yourself, for your family, if you wanna free up your time, if eventually your goal is to either reduce your time at your 9 to 5 or quit it altogether, you need to take this seriously and you need to consider yourself as a business owner. You own an online business that happens to sell some of their products on Etsy versus your side hustle is selling products on Etsy. Do you understand the mentality shift there? It's really important that if you're gonna make life-changing amounts of money and you're gonna take this somewhere, it's really important to start considering yourself a business owner. And the fact that you are a business owner is why I think you deserve better than Etsy. Honestly, as I mentioned before in this video, Etsy is a good place to get started. It's how you learn how to make a product that adds value to a customer. It's how you learn how to design something that's in high demand, do research, how to create the digital product itself. So it is a great platform to get started. But now, if you want to take your business to the next level, it is time to have your own platform on which you sell your digital products. So let's go through 2 examples really quick about how much more you can charge for the same item off of Etsy versus how much you would have to charge if you were selling it on Etsy. So first off, let's type in Instagram story template. And we're gonna go ahead and filter here by bestseller. And you can see here with the best sellers, things that are actually selling, most of them are in the $4 or $5 range, and the absolute maximum that anyone's able to charge here is about $15, which is wildly low for anywhere between 20 to 80 story templates. Okay, so now let's hop over to Instagram and I'm going to show you an example here. So if we look at my Nicole, which by the way, if you don't follow her, you should, she's incredible. If we go to her link, she sells all sorts of digital products, courses, memberships, etc. But I'm gonna just hone in on this Instagram story templates right now. So down here is the story template bundle. And you can see here that she sells 160 plug and play templates for $87, which is incredible, right? Like so much more than you can get on Etsy. So that's her stuff. And you can see here she's got testimonials and all of that kind of stuff. I just love her stuff so much. And I know that she sells these like hotcakes. She's getting between 5 and 20 times more amount per sale to whoever's selling the similar items on Etsy. Okay, let's choose another niche and do another example. Let's say you're into real estate and you want to help other real estate agents excel in their businesses. And so you sell a whole bundle of checklists, open house checklists, things to look for, client conversation starters, things like that. On Etsy, if we go ahead and type in real estate starter bundle or real estate bundle or any sort of combination like that, and we filter by bestseller, you can see here that most of these things are selling for as low as $3 with an absolute maximum of $20. Okay, so now let's hop over to Instagram again, and I'm gonna show you Jenna Elise's link and what she's selling her real estate bundle for. So she's got her link tree here. Again, she sells all sorts of different things, but I wanted to hone in on this getting started in real estate bundled. It matches most closely what we were looking at Etsy. And you can read through her description here, but everything that is in here is really similar to that bundle we were looking at on Etsy. And she's selling this for $67. Again, she processes the payments herself, everything off the Stan Store website. And so just another example of how much more you can get selling on your own website versus off of Etsy. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I don't have a big following. I don't know how to get a big following, or do I even need a big following in order to have these kind of sale numbers? And I'm here to tell you that everyone has to start somewhere, and you would be shocked at how little followers you need in order to start making this type of income from your digital products. I'll be honest with you that you will need to pick some form of social media if you want to be successful at this. It can be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it could be Pinterest, it could be a blog. There's a myriad of different things. However, you do not need tens of thousands of followers in order to be successful at this. You just need to find the right people. It takes a little bit of time up front, but you can totally do this and you can start making sales very quickly with very few numbers of followers. I recently opened a new Instagram account for one of my digital products and I was able to make over $1,500 in sales before hitting 300 followers. So it is very doable. Or take this YouTube channel, for example. I'm not that great at Instagram. I haven't really cracked that nut yet. And so I went ahead to try YouTube and I've gained over 4,000 subscribers in 4 months here on YouTube and sold well over $2,500 worth of my digital products just from the few videos that I've put out on this channel. So it is very possible, and sometimes it just takes finding the thing that works for you, your personality, and if one thing's not working, try something else and pivot to see if you like it. It doesn't really matter which social media platform that you choose as long as you start driving those customers to your email list. An email list is crucial because it allows you to retarget the same customers that have already bought from you. There's actually between a 60 and 70% chance of making a sale with a customer that already exists versus between 5 and 20% chance of making a sale to a brand new customer. And so these are what we call hot buyers, and getting these customers on your email list allows you to retarget them much more effectively. Therefore, you don't have to spend as much on ads. Therefore, you don't have to spend all this time churning up new listings or new social media posts all the time. You can be more strategic about it and take your time back a little bit more. I guarantee that even if you started from scratch, if you take a platform, any platform, social media platform seriously, you could be making 4 times the amount per sale on that social media platform than you're making on Etsy within 2 to 3 months. I really believe that you can. So now that I've convinced you that you can make a lot more money selling these same digital products that you already have off of Etsy than on it, I'm gonna do a brief overview on how you can get started setting up a platform and a system to make you successful with this. The first step is to create a freebie that gets people into your funnel that then puts them on your email list. I'm gonna share 2 different softwares that are both great options. I use them both for various different niches that I use to sell digital products. The first one is called System.io. This is great for beginners because it is free up to 3 funnels and 2,000 email subscribers. So if you don't want to spend any money out the gate, this is going to be the option for you because it is free to help you get started. And there's checkout pages on here and everything. It can integrate with Stripe so you can take payments directly. So it acts as your website, your email autoresponder, and your funnel all in one, and you can get started for free. Now, disclaimer, I personally tend to think that Flowdesk, which is the other software program that I use, is easier for newbies, and I like the aesthetics of it a lot more. It's just easier to use, it's more beautiful from a customer experience perspective, but it does cost money out the gate, whereas System.io is free to start. So Flowdesk, if you do want to use it, I do have a 50% off coupon link down in my description that you can use. It gets you 50% off for your first year, but it is going to cost a little bit of money out the gate month by month, whereas System.io is free. So just take that into consideration as you're deciding, but both of them can act as funnels. They can collect your emails. You can do email automations on them, and you can do checkout pages on them both. So you can check them both out and see which one's gonna work best for you, which one you like best, which one's most intuitive for you. Now, if this still sounds very overwhelming, I went ahead and put together a free funnel building starter toolkit that you can get down in my description below. And this is going to come with a free list building funnel that integrates with System.io. I chose that because it's the free option, a free lead magnet delivery email template, and a free ebook template, which could be your lead magnet if you chose to do so, but of course you can choose anything. You get all 3 of those in my starter funnel list building kit that you can get down in the description box below. Now, if you would still like additional handholding and help, of course you can scour YouTube to help you out. And there's also a course that I took that taught me all of this that is all encompassing, and it was great. I couldn't recommend it more. Of course, it does cost some money, but you can check that out below as well. But you can do this with the free items that I gave you to get started and kind of searching. I'm gonna be putting out more videos in the weeks to come that show you aspects of this for free too. But if you would like to check that course out, you can check the link in my description as well. Etsy is a great place to start, but it is not a great place to stay. So if you are ready to take your business to the next level and scaling your business to a sustainable amount of money and workload every month to the point where you can rely on it for yourself and your family and to free up your time, then this is the next logical best step. Finally, if you're into digital products and overall passive and semi-passive online income, please subscribe to my channel and also like this video. This is what my channel is all about. And I just want to say you can do this. I believe in you, and I will see you in the next video.